Hey, I'm Jamie Thompson. I want to thank my man Spiritual Peace for giving me the opportunity to tell my story. My story consists of if I did it, I know you can too. Coming from the projects, we ain't really never have nothing. I ain't never have nothing. As I was telling Spiritual Peace just a second ago, when I tell people stuff like I don't eat condiments, they think that's funny. But it's really, something that's really embedded in my soul. I don't eat condiments, because as a kid, sometimes when I went to the refrigerator, the only thing we had in there was a condiment and maybe, the butt bread. And, you know, that's all we had to eat a whole lot of times. Wasn't that mama wasn't working, wasn't that, we was lacking, mama was slacking on her job. It was just that, as a black family being in the projects and, I really feel like, we ain't really have no chance from the beginning. So, it was always gonna be a struggle, but my testimony is, I've been through the dirt and back, and I always, stood back up. Penitentiary couldn't stop me. I was running wild in Louisville in the streets, and it got my consequences for being, something that I shouldn't have been trying to be, doing things that I, wasn't supposed to be trying to do, and I was so caught up. I was doing the extreme, trying to be somebody that I wasn't, stuff that I seen in the streets that I thought was appealing, that was really just put out there to get me in the trap that I fell into, which was prison and the system. I got to go back and forth uptown and people telling me how I can live, telling me what I can and I can't do, But after all that, I still, in my cell, would tell myself that this ain't the end. And my grandfather, he would write me letters and say stuff like, half a word is enough for the wise. And back then I ain't understand what my grandfather or my uncles or my mama, the pastor was trying to tell me. I was just trying to be grown, But penitentiary, will sit you down and it'll make you think about a whole lot, things that you do wrong, the things that you can do right. If people love you, they gonna let you know that you was wrong. That's if people love you. A lot of people go and they not as strong as some because they don't got nobody to be there for them. I was fortunate, what I always had my mom and my brothers, to tell me, that this ain't the place that I needed to be at, and that the ways that I was living my life was dead wrong. So I had a little bit, a lot of people, they grow up now, they got cars at 16 and they ain't never worried about their lights and LG&E being cut off. Now, the kids nowadays, I think they different. I think the life now, the way of the world is different now. But the way I was raised, I had to really think about that. The one thing I was blessed with was a great support group, and that's the one thing I think, that got me out of, the riff, the thug and and the movies and the videos and I seen the drug dealers and people really get shot and people die and back then just like now as a kid some of that was appealing. It was appealing, that's what I wanted to be, the gangster, but really that's honestly in my life, what I done come to realize with trying to really be that and taking it to the extreme of being a gangster is a gangster is a lame, so to say, ain't no gangsters living no more. Most of them either dead or in penitentiary forever. They not coming home, and to keep it raw and honest, a lot of gangsters that I know, they not even strong. When I got put in that situation and, to be honest, I was scared in penitentiary for the first time. So, I know they was, and the gangsters ain't what's up no more. What's up now is school. And, I wish I could take my life back, to 6 and 7 and change things. Maybe not try to smoke a cigarette with my friends, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what they doing, because that's what they see their uncles and their big brothers and stuff doing it. And at 9 and 10, I don't want to, try to steal, marijuana out of my people's stuff, because that's not what's up. I wish I could take it back, honestly. That may seem like a gimmick, but I feel like now the only thing that I can teach my kids and the best way that I can raise my kids is with respect and, make sure they got good grades, because I know that's what's going to be the best thing for them, but with my life, starting over, it's been a great thing. I've had blessings. I've had people, put in my life. When I was in my downtime, the only thing I could do, people say when you get down, when you get in a bad position, the first thing you do is call God, and honestly, that's exactly what I did when I got in the down position and I couldn't, take it no more, and I knew that my life was in a place where I wasn't even in control of it no more. I called straight to God. And regardless of, I feel like whatever I do in my life right now, God is always gonna be with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always gonna pray. I'm always gonna know that He's watching for me, and the blessings, the people that has been put in my life, you gotta pay attention. If you don't, you can miss it. Like I said in the beginning, half a word is enough for the wise. My granddaddy used to say that. I never understood it, and I'm gonna try to explain it just a little bit. Half the word is enough for the wise. Half the word meaning, you gotta pay attention. Small things count. Walking down the street, somebody could, just simply say, "Excuse me, son." Did you know God was, in your life, and nowadays, we so, caught up in our own stuff, we don't even pay no attention to that. But, really, now when I hear stuff like that, when older people say stuff like that to me, I pay close attention to it, and I stop and have a conversation with them and ask them, how did they know that God was with me, and if they would pray for me. And I stop on the corner and ask a person to pray for me if they start our conversation like that and won't, have no type of uncomfortableness about it. And, I ain't saying I'm no saint, but, I get blessings because of, I know that it's a different way of life. I done found out, I done experienced that running around in the streets and, trying to be the guy is not gonna get me, a college fund for my kids. It's not gonna put me in the position to where I can pay my LG&E every month. It's not gonna put a roof over my head trying to be a thug. Being a thug is not what's up, it's what's not up. Most definitely, God is the only thing, in my life that keeps me sane. The only thing that I can, really the only person that I can really go to, because my life is so faced with adversity. I'm always in a spot to where I got to call on God. So I call on God every day. If you know that when you get in a bad position, the person you're gonna be trying to talk to is a person that's not even there, and you got something that you got to live on by faith. You should be living by faith every day. That's only common sense to me, and it ain't come natural. I had to go through things, to understand that you got to be strong. And as a black man, we put at a disadvantage from the beginning, which ain't no excuse. The reasons is, we got to keep going because we came from nothing. And don't stop. Don't let nobody tell you can't. Don't believe that you can't. Don't tell yourself that you can't. If you tell yourself that you can't, then you got already 2, 3, 4 things working against you. Man, you can. If you in school, go to school. Get a tutor if you don't understand. From the small kids to the big kids. You know, if you playing sports and you can't hang and the coach is too tough on you, go talk to your uncle or something. Work harder, work out a little extra. You know, we already at a disadvantage, man, as a black man and in the world today, period. If you're not working 100% times harder, then you just gonna live average. You know. The last thing, you know, that I really got to say is, you know, basically, if you start out in a bad position, you don't gotta stay in that position. You know, you got to really pay attention and focus on what's good for you, not what's bad for you. A lot of people say it's easier to do what's wrong than it is to do right. And in some sense, it's not at all. I don't believe that at all. It's easy to do right if that's what you want to do. If you want to be able to take care of yourself and your family, then it's easy for you to do right. Even if you came from nothing. There's not excuses anymore for us. There's reasons. But now, as a people, we need to take our reasons to God and let them reasons go and move forward with your life. Thank you, Spiritual Peace. That's a little bit of my story.
Hey, now I get introduced to this guy, and once you know